the operators that you see on I think on defense agents. I'm just sorry, I'm literally I'm reading it from production and it baits me. Agents. I'm getting baited by our man behind the scenes. Looks like we have a Raze, Cypher, Sage, nothing out of the ordinary here. Actually reflected mirror composition. It's mirror comps here on both sides. So I was about to talk about differences, but it's actually just mirror comps here, Ender.
Yeah, I think the really nice thing about having Raze on a map like this is you can sort of chuck your nades in and buy a lot of time through mid. Also pairing with the Sage, if you throw crunchies down, you can get like instant kills where no one can actually run away from those nades. But Jessamine took a lot of damage inside of vents at the start of the round, which is going to make it hard for them to maintain a lot of control around that mid area.
And you can see, like, the initial fight was always going to be around mid, but the spike was still sitting here just down A long, and they're looking for the step up. One thing on ramps, Brimstone's going to put the smokes down. You'll look for one on heaven, one on panels, usually here, just to try and block off anything from happening. Still two players sitting around that B site for the defensive team, but here come the shots. Alexi's hits two already. Perfect positioning. Chet's going to get one in response, but now the spike has fallen, and Replan has just rattled through them. It's a 1v3 situation. Kip's nowhere near the spike either.
Yeah, KPS is going to have to push up. I don't think he's going to find a 1v3, although again, we have seen things happen in Valorant. The clutch is very, very possible. We saw it in the previous game. Soulcast able to do the same thing, but there's a good defense on A site here for 2-4-GL, and they should be able to close this pistol round out with ease, especially now that KPS has given his location away. He's going to have to make a play in the next 15 seconds. He's going to have to find every kill, and he can't. He'll go down. Easy, secure here for 2-4-GL on their first defensive round.
Yeah, and honestly, Alexi gets the MVP for that one, just hiding right behind the corner on that box. And that's a super nasty place to play because, of course, it's really hard to check that when you're entering through a main because you can get shot from heaven, through screens, from actually on site. It's really hard to peek that one out. So as long as you have a strong player on ramps that can hold off any sort of heaven flank that could like jump down on towards you, you can always hold that spot. And, of course, on a pistol round like that, gets a couple of kills and pretty much wins the round for his team.
Good start there from 2G4L. Too good for the loss, I believe, is what that acronym stands for, or too good for lose, which makes sense as they won the first round. Now all 5 players sitting around mid looking for that control that we talked about earlier on, Ender. 2 in on the defensive side, just holding their angles in heaven. No one's sitting in rafters right now as the satchel comes out. They're looking to push forward, but Jasmine's already going to take down height with the Spectre. Looking for more of his side. Oh my god! Oh, turn it off. You can't show that on Twitch. It's not allowed.
The lineup right there from the Raze, I think the satchel charge right there did damage to all 4 of those players. So the bullets from that Sage's Spectre absolutely tore through for a quick quad.
Oh mate, it was like shooting fish in a barrel right there. It was so easy for Zander to pick that up, and that's 2 rounds on the board now for 2G4L. And again, they now going into a round where they're, in terms of equivalent, in terms of economy, there is a buyout coming for Royals right now. This is their first opportunity to find some kind of inroad to pick up a round on the attacking side. As you said, it's kind of defender favored here, Medic. It is a hard map to find an opening in, especially if you cannot get mid control. And you can see now Royals pushing in through mid once more, just to try to bait out as much as they can from 2G4L. They saw they baited a little bit on B main. And smokes are going to come through once more. Looks like there's an aggressive push coming in from 2G4L on the B main here. They're going to make a rotate round to that B link. Maybe trying to catch out some members of Royals, but there is a defender on that side. Is he going to make the peek? No, he gets caught out by Sind again. Good start to the round, and you can see now a lot of people from Royals locked up in heaven. They are just looking for some kind of opening as the spike actually deposited just on the outside of A sewers here, Medic.
Yeah, you can see that spike. They're going to take that over to A, but it's Cypher holding the site, so it's actually really difficult to do too much with that because, of course, the trap wires and the camera make it very hard for you to enter. Alexi here with the judge just waiting for someone to come through rafters, looking for heaven, takes the kill, and Replan's going to hit a long-range shot. It's actually Cypher cam on site, but it's the Brimstone holding it, the Breach holding it here. Replan is the one looking down there with the Marshal trying to hit these shots. Can't quite land the second through the cage, but the cage being up means it very difficult. Oh my god. Okay, well that's not very fair right there.
How are you going to do that to him right there? Absolutely brutal. The attackers were trying to do some clever things right there. They left the bomb over towards A site, but now DPS in the 1v4 just trying to pick up anything. Gets a couple right there. So a nice little win for him, but still a lost round overall.
Goodness me, Eco probably ruined again here for Royals. They're going to have to go. Well, no, some Phantoms coming out. Although this actually looking at DPS, he actually saved that Phantom from the previous round. Yeah. But it is going to be another hard win if Royals want to pick up this this first round on the board here, Medic.
Yeah, like if they get it this round, I don't know what's been happening the rest of the rounds, right? Like if you get it when you've got a Ghost, 2 Sheriffs, a Classic, and a Phantom, what has been going on the rest of the rounds that mean you're losing out these gunfights? I like the play they're looking for. Aggressive B push, just go straight through lobby, hard run it down, and just see if you can get anyone off the site. But already Replin's taking down height, down and mid. The Spike's still sitting outside of B lobby there, and they're going to go back. Weren't able to find any of those entry frags they were looking for. Now we'll just slowly push up. There's still only one holding the site. Second defender is in heaven. We're here with Fake, who's going to put the smoke down. Looks like that's, yeah, just sitting in the corridor. I still wonder how Brimstone smokes can go through ceilings. Like, I don't think that should be possible. There's a ceiling there.
They're very special types of smokes, you know?
Setting up a little fake nation.
We still don't know much about the lore.
It's going to take down Fake, though. And Replin will get an answering kill there onto Chet. Another one comes down and Sin hits the shots from the side, and they're just getting rattled through. There's really not too much you can do here on the attacking side. Replin try to see if you can win the battle with the pistol, but instead Jasmine will come across and take the kill on DPS.
Yeah, I feel like at a certain point there, when you're on a bit of an eco, you just need to try and get on site and plant the bomb for some extra money. Like, you're not going to end up winning these rounds here. Already at a 0-4 deficit on the attacker side, and this is where I actually would like them to maybe spread out a little bit more, show the bomb on one side and leave someone to maybe lurk in behind. I find one of the easiest ways to take a site when you actually have like pretty disastrous like control over mid, because let's face it, attacking, they haven't been able to make any real headway there, is to have someone really late enter in there, try to, you know, come into heaven through vents or something like that when you are moving towards this A-bomb site.
Well, it is a bomb site on the cards right now. As you can see, smokes come through. Royals just trying to make a push up through ramp. No one caught them, though, so they have managed to make it onto ramp without being taken out. And now it looks like with that security, the rest of Royals are now going to rotate round, pick up the spike, and maybe make a play for the A-bomb site here. Some really defensive angles held, though. Alexi's just trying to keep an eye on the A-Rafters A-main link with that cam. And he is also holding the angle on a very tight spot. And you can see now Replin as well has the angle. Is now going to rotate round. And that is the ultimate pop through. Will not land onto the site. Yeah, not land on the site. I guess he didn't have the information, though. Alexi did have the cam up, though. And they are now pushing up through heaven. Already, Jesmond will bite back. He'll pick up the first kill onto DPS. And I think maybe the party has been ruined here for Royals. It was a good setup. The execution not quite there as Jesmond tries to jump over the cage, trying to find another as Replin finds a kill with the operator. Doesn't find the second, and suddenly it's down to a 3 versus 3. Bomb is on site. They will get that spike down. For the first time in this series, Royals finally find a plant here, Medic.
They've still got res up, though, so they can make this a 4v3 if they want to. Sin's going to come down here and look to bring Replin back up. Could have... Oh, it doesn't have the wall. Okay, otherwise you want to wall off panels there before you get that res. Otherwise someone's just going to headshot him. But now... It's blocked behind the boxes. There comes one, and this should be an easy enough retake. Make sure that you've got it. And as the screen freezes, so do the hopes of anyone on Royals.
Spoiler alert, they were able to defuse the spike right there and win the round in a 3v0 situation. They made it happen.
I have once. I was playing Raze, and I wondered if you could satchel someone off the spike if they were on your team. Turns out you can, right? And I was like, oh, it's fine. We've got tons of time left to defuse. But I killed him at the same time because I didn't realize how little HP he had. So I managed to land the defuse, and I got another point towards my ultimate, which is very important, obviously. But the Phoenix that I killed, I'm very sorry. Very sorry to you.
I'm sure they're watching right now.
Well, it looks like we...
Yeah.
Jesmond actually gets caught up in a stun here. He will actually get walled out, I think, by his own team, potentially. not the start you were looking for here, but an aggressive mid push coming out from Royals, looking to try and claim some kind of control over that area. It's so important on split to be able to have those options pulling from that middle portion of the map. But no entry frags taken, and that's going to force Royals to move their way back through B-Link into B-Lobby, and now maybe looking towards B-Main garages, trying to find some kind of pick onto the B site. But it doesn't look like 2G4L have set up to allow this to happen easily. You can see already they're going to keep eyes on moving through. Chet will be the first player to back out. If we look over towards the site, maybe they're going to make an entry peek there, Medic.
That's quite possible. They're looking for it. Jasmine's going to take down Capers, though, and now they're looking for more as Fake takes out Hype. Sin's going to get another kill. And it's a shooting gallery. Fake gets 3. The push didn't really work at all. And we are looking at a demolition here from 2G.
Yeah, I mean, they just sort of tried to funnel 5 people in through B main, which is really hard to do, especially because I don't know if they saw
it's really
that
easy to do.
Jasmine,
It's just really hard to do well.
to actually get to the site and plant the bomb.
Do it.
They got through B main. They got onto the site. Just got absolutely wrecked right there. Because yeah, Jesmond, once he got walled off, he boosted over towards B heaven. So they had 2 people looking down on these guys as they tried to funnel in towards the site. So, and they were also super delayed because the bomb was over towards A. So it was a bit disorganized there, I do feel like, and gave a lot of time for the defenders to regroup and, you know, pull that one off.
Yeah, Spike sitting here in A lobby as 3 players push forward. One's going to get taken down by Replin, who's been hopping heads with that op all day. DPS is the one to fall. Now he's looking across towards the other side. There's another, but he can't quite hit the flick. Replin will just pop out a stun to make sure that nothing too aggressive can happen. Hype was able to take down Sind in a 1v1, the sheriff being used effectively, but Replin almost lands another shot there with the op. Can't quite find his man. Jasmine, though, getting one up towards B. Yeah, this is a bit of an interesting play here from Royals.
That was supposed to be the
Royals
important pick, though, right? You know, you had Hype actually flanking in through B right there and trying to get into spawn, but Jesmond spotted it out. Like, that's how you attack a site, is you need to be able to come in from multiple angles, but now they're all clustered up in main again.
Yeah, they're pushing up on ramp, trying to make a way through A main into that area just below rafters. They are going to get onto site here, but Alexi has got the angle. He'll find one. Couldn't quite find the second, but immediately does when he picks up the kill onto Capers, and it is literally 1 versus 4. I don't know how I'm going to pronounce this name, but he does find the kill with the sheriff. He finds the second. This is a good situation right now.
His name's Cypher.
Maybe be able to play. His name's Cypher. Cool. We're going to call him Cypher from now on. Does he have the plant here? The Spike is unfortunately not with him right now. He will have to make a move over, but cannot due to time. And we'll just save with the gun here.
Yeah, this is the problem though, when you're all coming through the same area. Off of the list you're trying to say?
Yeah, so we've seen Capers, we've seen DPS, there's Neff, Hype, and Zealots, and I haven't noticed which player is which of the rest of the Royals lineup. So we'll find it out. We'll work it out, guys. I've got the list next to me. We'll discover. Now, it looks like it's going to be a mid-push once again. Spike sitting there just around B lobby. We can see if we can get anyone. Oh, so we saw Hype and Chet. I don't know who Chet is, though. He's not on the... Anyway, it doesn't matter.
They're not.
They're 7-0 down right now. It's a best of 1. It's very unlikely we will keep commentating on them for the finals. Okay, so minute 17 left on the clock. Mid control has been gained here. DPS looking for the flash through the wall. Trying to get that into heaven as the rest of his team pushes up. Now, there are 2 players holding heaven right now. One sitting, just watching towards B main, see if anyone comes out. Here we go, looking for that tectonic disruption, that knock-up. But the orbital strike's going to use straight away. Roomba goes down, Hype gets Jesmond. He's looking for more as he gets onto the site, but Sin's going to take him out, and Fake's getting one in return as well as Chet falls. Capers able to get a kill on Fake, and that's pesky Cypher taking one himself as well. But Replin with a quick rotate will get a kill with the op. Now a 2v1 as Alexi knows exactly where he is, and we'll find out exactly where the enemy are as well. Easy enough kill on the first, but for the second it gets shot out by the Cypher. First round of the half, and Royals are beginning to feel very much like Brazil.
Yeah, it becomes... becomes very difficult to cast that when we're calling the dude Cypher, and he's in a 1v1 against another Cypher right there. They both use their ultimates as
Cypher
well.
gets the kill into Cypher. Let's go.
Versus Cypher. Inspector Cypher.
I was hoping the scoreboard got popped for a bit longer because I was trying to like check off names on the list. But there's also Chet, and I don't know who Chet is from the list that we have on the back end.
Come on. We just
Sage.
commentate what we can see. Chet is Sage, 100%. We know that for sure. It's going to be an A push. 4 players sitting towards A mid, but Replin has been so on point with these op shots. Surgical precision with the operator. Alexi holding the off angle here again, and he hits the head as Capers steps forward. Cybercage going to be used as well. He steps into it, looking for the spam down ramps. And now there's someone straight in front of him. A couple of shots come out. DPS can't win the trade. 1 HP, it's exactly the amount you need. It's not even one more than you need. It's exactly the amount you need to survive. And at the moment, everything is going in favor of 2G4L. Too good to lose. 4 loss, sorry.
I have got confirmation, by the way. That is Nef CS. So it's just Nef, okay. Basically. So we can just call it Nef. Chet here, unfortunately, trying his best. We'll get the heal. And cannot find the repeat. He has the spike right now, but again, it is a 2 versus 5. It would have to be a miracle for him to A, get onto site, and B, find a plant, but he does get Jesmond. The first scalp that he needs.
Does he res here? It's such a dangerous position to res in. Maybe you just save it for a future round, but I feel like you've got to do it now if you're going to do it, because otherwise you won't have time to get the plant off.
No, there's no
looking
time.
For the people in heaven. Yeah, there's no time at all now. Puts out the slowing orb, looking to see if he can catch out at least another kill, but he's not even going to be able to get onto B site in time, I don't think, here. Pushing up through mid vent into the top of mid, but they're just looking for kills more than anything else. They're not looking for the plant, trying to get these guns out, and trying to see if they can catch anyone rotating between those 2 sites.
Yeah, the problem is, even if you kill these guys for the next 3 rounds in a row, they're still going to be able to buy here with the lead they've built up. 8-1 now, overall. Now, the one thing I will say for the attacking side, they've got 3 ults to work with right here. So they can use that Brim ult to try and clear some space deep on the site. They can also use the Raze ulti to actually try and clear ramps there right towards the start. So, like, if there was ever a time to try that, like, full A rush right at the start of a round, this would actually be the moment for them.
Well, maybe that's what they're doing here, and as they have all grouped up, looking for the opportunity to push in through A main, maybe up through ramps. It is a 5-man push. We don't see this too often. They have the ults to work with, like he said. Alexi knows that they are coming, as Jesmond now, again, trying to find some kind of way onto the site. The flushes through. Jesmond finds the first kill onto Nef, and this is not the start that you were looking for, and immediately the trade backs come through. They're on site. Alexi there, stalwart as ever, finds a great defense. 2-4 GL, though, right now in a 2 versus 1. And it is Hype versus the world. They haven't found the plant. He hasn't actually even got the spike right now. As I say that, it does just pick it up. Slowly making his way down towards A to find that plant. And it is very, very nervous stuff from 2G4L. They are just waiting for that spike to come through. As there is the ultimate coming through from Breach. They will find the kill, and it'll be an easy defuse.
Yeah, it was still a great attempt right there, you know. Only had 2 actual weapons on the attack. They went for a whole lot of pistols, you know, didn't have the best buys, so decided not to actually pop those ultimates to reach into the site. But things actually went surprisingly well for them. I feel like maybe had they committed those, they wouldn't have had to trade getting on towards the site, then could have upgraded towards some separate weapons. But the A push, not fruitful in the end.
I think the big debate we get into now is how defensive-sided is this map? Because Royals are struggling, like they really are, and 2G4L just seem like the better team, but maybe we'll see Royals just absolutely dominate on the defensive side. Now, I'm not saying they're going to come back and they're going to sweep and they're going to be able to win the game, win the map from here, but there's a possibility as Replin tries to put DPS in his spot, just one-shots him. It's, yeah, Replin's having a pretty good performance so far on this breach, hitting those op shots pretty well. Jesmond has an ult of his own in case anyone does push up through A, but there's only 1 player up there right now. Orbital strike being used to try and push him out of position. Sin looking for the kill, but can't quite land it as Capers takes him down. 2 pushing into heaven, 1 coming through lobby. The res coming out here from Chet as well as they look to retake this site. Or take this site, sorry.
Yeah, B now open. You've seen the push in from Royals. That will be a couple of smokes coming down just to buy some time here for 2G4L. But Royals finally in a good offensive position as Fake, he gets one kill out the smoke. Trades 1 for 1, but the take is there. They are on B site with the spike, and now it is up to 2G4L to find their way back in. The showstopper comes through from Jesmond, and that's a double kill as well on site. What an ulti coming out from Raze, and now it is Neff versus the world. The spike not planted. The site is unclaimed. Neff will find one to work with, but it is still a 2 versus 1 scenario. He still has to pick up the spike and plant it, and that is still a very tense situation to be in if you're a fan of Royals. Checking his angles, working his way through. They are both on spawn right now. He will pick up the spike as well. But this is the time for 2G4L to strike. As Neff jumps round, he can't find the kills, and Jesmond will clutch it out here, getting another round on the board. 10-1 for the boys from 2G4L.
I mean, that Raze ult from Jesmond pretty much single-handedly wins the round right there, you know? Royals, they'd gotten onto the site. They had good positioning in the back right there, but the fact that it traded 2 just meant that Neff all of a sudden isolated off the site. They couldn't put the bomb on the ground and really destroyed any chance they had going into the second half.
And the problem for Neff at the end was, like, you have to face that up, because as soon as you start planting, as soon as you try and stick that, you're just going to get people peeking around corners, hitting you in the head. So he needs to get both the kills. He wasn't going to have time to plant it properly. He was running out of space and time in the round. And Fake just kills one. I believe that was with his ultimate, using the orbital strike to take down one, sitting in Ramen. And it's the story of the game. It's Fake and the 2G4L crew just winning these duels, winning these head versus head matchups, and making it very, very difficult for Royals to get any purchase in this half.
They're going to push through center here. Now they have still got the spike. It is a 2 versus 3. It is not unwinnable for Royals. They can still find their way into this round. Although Jesmond makes that much harder, taking out Neff. It'll be Hype getting the return, but it is now a 2 versus 1. Spike still outside of B site. Currently zoned off the spike by a molly. And Hype will very slowly walk through, get picked up, and another round goes on the board for 2G4L. They are 11-1 right now. Not looking good for Royals.
All right, it's time for pistol round miracle here for Royals on the defense side. You have to win this one, otherwise it is all over for them. I wouldn't mind them trying to get a little bit more creative too as we get later into this half, assuming they do come away with a win, because it seems like the aim duels are just always going the way of too good for lose, and even on defense, I think it's going to be really hard to match up against these guys.
You see a stack there at B lobby from Too Good for Lose. They're going to try and push onto the site. It's actually only a Cypher cam on that B site right now. Everyone else holding mid.
I think there's a trap wire there as well in B main.
Yeah, it's probably a trap wire sitting just up B main through that little corridor. But if they rush this site, it's going to be a retake situation more than anything else. And actually just walking it up right now. Smoke's coming out on A site to try and distract, to try and make people think it's an A play. They've already taken down the camera. Now the push comes out. They know the Roomba's there. Neff gonna hit one head as the wall doesn't come up in time. Alexi's down, and now Neff is pushing forward onto B. The spike is here. They're looking to get that plant off as soon as they can, but the reinforcements are rolling their way in. Spike's down. That wall's still holding them off. And now the flank position's actually coming out from Fake, who was sitting over to A most of the time. He's going to get into heaven and look for these kills. Sin's going to get taken out, but Fake's in a really good position here to start clicking heads. No one really knows that he is sitting up in heaven, and Jesmond is distracting. It's all on Fake. You got to hit a few here because you're in a 1v3. Hits one, hits two, but can't get the third. And the retake comes out from Capers.
That's so close right there. Cape is able to turn around to the end. These are the late rotations in through heaven I was sort of talking about, when you can wait till everyone rotates out of mid and come find that flank. That was almost devastating here for Royals, but now they've got some footing back in this half, should be able to carry the momentum in towards this next round, but they're gonna have to watch out for those flanks, and it's almost a good thing that it happened to them on round one, that they know that this could be a tendency of Too Good for Lose that they can watch out for in some even gunfights.
I mean, they needed that win, Ender. They needed that win, because if they didn't, then they have trash economy going into match point against 2G4L. So this is going to be a much needed momentum, and they're going to have to continue this as well. Losing this round would be devastating too, so they need to make sure, utilizing the buy that they've got, that they continue to find a really solid defense. Again, Medic did say, is it mostly a defense favored map? I don't know whether it's a 12 round in a row defense favored map, but DPS picks up one, Jesman returns onto Hype, 4 versus 4. But they do have the advantage here as well. Cape is picking up a kill onto Fake. That mid control just not working out right now for 2G4L. And they're unable to convert that into any meaningful attack.
Yeah, 2G4L here. Selling only on the Ghost, of course. You expect to lose these rounds, and you have a lot in your back pocket in terms of advantage. You know, you're 9 rounds up. But if you can find a couple of picks on a round like this, you really stop the enemy from having relatively good guns for the next round. But Chet holding a good angle there, just managing to click the head down mid, and there's 2 very low HP members of 2G4L here trying to push up by themselves, just hiding behind those boxes for the moment. Now they're going to start to step out. Chet able to dodge away from the stun, and DPS takes 1, DPS takes 3 in the round, and it's a good round win for Royals.
All right, now I'm curious what Too Good for Lose do now. They have some money and go for some buys here. I don't think all of them will be able to buy full utility, unfortunately here, but they should be able to get their Vandal or Phantom and be pretty happy, of course. Cypher not having utility on attack isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world either. You know, especially because I don't think we've actually seen a ton of Cyphers lurking on attack. They've been grouping up with their team, maybe using the camera a little bit more offensively to peek on towards an angle. So even though they can't buy full utility here, should be in a pretty solid spot.
Yeah, absolutely. I think in the previous round, when they were stationed mid, they were just trying to bait out as much utility from Royals as physically possible, trying to force them to rebuy and hit some of their economy where it hurts. Cape is here. Won't get hit up. Won't take too much damage from there, and he'll just try and hold the rafts.
Yeah, looking to hold the top of ramps there. I mean, you mixed rafters and lamps and ramps. It was fine. We'll take it. At the moment, the Execute is looking towards this A site. A couple people just sitting there in A main for those positions. Stimbeacon going to come down as well as they try and rapid fire their way through the smoke, but not really finding too many connections. Still pretty healthy on both sides here. And the rotation could come out pretty easily. I don't see a camera sitting on B at all, so although Neff is here, if they want to, they could just go back through sewers and look for that flank position. 3 people currently sitting up in heaven for Royals. They're looking to just defend this as best they can, but here we go. Smoke's going to come down onto the site. Alexi putting down his cyber cage as well as they push forward onto ramps. 2G4L looking for these kills. Still 3 people up here. 1 sitting in rafters, 1 in heaven, and it's Capers who opens up and gets the first kill. Puts a stim beacon down for himself, but he's going to get stunned up for the moment. The walls come off as well. Trying to block down A main to make sure that no one can push in too easily. 2G4L still looking for these kills, but Capers is holding some very good angles, and Hype's going to take the kill with the splatter. DPS and Chet opening up as well. They take down 2. The Spike is down. Jesman the only one left alive, and there's nothing he can do to get anywhere near that Spike in time.
Yeah, it was a really interesting round there, especially Jesman's decision. He was lurking over by B main for so long that I thought either he was going to try and like push maybe aggressively in through heaven there and try to get a flank, or perhaps the rest of his team sort of collapse on towards him, because they spent so much time making noise over on A main that Royals basically rotated 4 people on over. They didn't have much mid control. It was just Cypher on towards B site. So the second they tried to commit up in towards that A site, they got absolutely destroyed there in heaven, and Jesman just had nothing really he could help out with either because he hadn't cleared enough of the vents area.
I get the impression that they were trying to like bait that they were rotating B, and they were like, oh wait, they've not come A. It's really silent. They're trying to rotate B. I get the impression that's what they were looking to do, but they were then trying to they're basically trying to double bluff. They were trying to say, hi, we've rotated B, but we're actually still A. And then unfortunately, it was Royals that didn't take the bait. They had that complete dominance over heaven, and 2G4L just couldn't make a push up ramps. It didn't work out. Ender, you're going to have to give us a little bit of running commentary about what's going on here.
Yeah. I've got you on this one. There's actually, so Too Good for Lose did a really aggressive B push here, leading with Brimstone Ultimate to try and get in towards the site, but they couldn't take full control over heaven. So a little bit of a spoiler alert. It will be yet another round victory, the 5th round of the game for Royals in this one.
I mean, you take that, right? Like you're 2-10 going into the half, and now you've managed to get back to 5-10 or 5-11. Sorry. Maybe this is just us seeing how defense-sided Split is. Maybe Royals have really started to up their game, because coming into this half, they only had one player. I think Neff was the only player fragging in double digits. Everyone else was sitting negative KDA down near the bottom of the scoreboard.
Yeah.
And now...
And K-Piz just dropped a 3-piece in that last round too, so they're spreading the love a little bit in terms of overall kills.
Maybe it just is super defensive, super defense side, especially for teams of this caliber. Maybe they just feel super comfortable on defense on Split, and if we could actually genuinely see a situation where they are contesting match point sooner rather than later. It's been a very, very good opening half here for Royals.
Yeah, so just sort of checking out the game now. Yeah, I'm just checking out the game here for you guys. Looks like it will be a full buy now. I don't think they had full money, or Too Good for Lose had full money on the last round, but quick kills at the start means it's going to be a 4v4. So I'll just do the audio only play-by-play of the round so far. This is going to be a slower round, ladies and gentlemen, just counting down from about the 1 minute and 5 second mark. Medic, Excoundrel, take a back seat here. I've got this one completely covered. Now there's a really weak A defense coming through from Royals as 3 members stack on up here over by Too Good for Lose. They're about to reveal themselves in just a moment. 1 member going in through Heaven, 2 down through main. Heaven gets destroyed by the Vents player, and the bomb also zoned away from the bomb site by a nice breach ult as well. By this time, Royals, they've rotated everyone on over towards the site. Oh, but a nice little play coming in through screens means that the bomb will get down onto the map. So, Too Good for Lose have 2 players on site as 2 players from Royals approach from screens. They're going to get the pick back on towards the site. It's a 1v3 situation, looking like Royals are going to come away with yet another round as they edge closer and closer. Now 6 wins on the board.
So I'm going to be honest,
like
I didn't
ASMR
realize
casting.
that we were, I didn't realize that we were on camera during this. I think, I don't know if it switched away from us, but I just went to get a drink in the middle of the round because I was listening with my
Wait, you just left? You didn't even listen to me?
I can hear you. I've got a wireless
What's going on
headset,
here?
so I was like, it's fine, I can still hear you. But yeah, we're on screen, so
we're just
anyone
sitting
that was
here.
like, where did
We're
Medic go
sitting
in the
here.
middle of the round?
Wait,
that was me going
pause
to go
for a
get a
second.
drink.
We're not on screen. On screen is very popular streamer, playing a lot of Valorant at the moment, not playing our tournament. I'm just trying to be
right now
honest
we've
here,
got-
people.
we've
You
got-
don't have to make fun of me.
It's the end of ASMR cast right now. Me and Medic can
Yeah.
just see a black
Apologies.
screen right now, so we aren't aware of what's going on at this point in time. So do you know what? I'm very happy to just sit back and listen to Endo
Dude,
ride it out with
what's
a
going on?
bit of.
Yeah. All right. So we're at the start of our 18th round of play here. Rep Floren going for a big breach ult to try and enter in towards the A site. But the rest of his team not going to back him up. The 4-stack now slowly moving forward, but being zoned away by those Sage crunchies. Everyone knows how annoying those can be. It's going to be a very slow approach on towards this A bomb site. A 4v2 situation, but DPS with a nice op shot down long from screen's position, able to find the first pick of the round, and more crunchies come down. So things are going to stall out a bit as Royals make their way over. Rotating just 1 player at the moment, still leaving Cypher over towards the B bomb site. Now the res does come through. So it looks like Too Good for You may want to rotate on out of here as the wall gets put down too. Sage just way too good at zoning players away from the site. Now full mid control has been given up here from Royals. Not that Too Good for Lose actually know that at the moment. We'll be rotating back towards sewers for the time being, not wanting to mess around here on A. But they are going to leave their breach here to continue making noise on the bomb site, even dropping the ultimate as a scattering tactic. Now you start to see the rotations coming on through, but they are given away through mid as they run up towards that B heaven area. Just 1 lurker trying to trade some kills on back towards them. It's going to be a double kill from Hype's Raze with the ultimate. DPS finds the final op shot of the round. And that's 7 wins on the board now for Royals as they get closer and closer.
Well explained there, Ender. Really well explained. I think, Royals just getting back into this. As we said, it's a heavily defense-sided map. Royals seem to be doing really well. And obviously, they just seem to understand how to play against 2G4L on this defensive side.
I think both teams very defensive focused on Split right now. It just seems obviously posting 11 rounds, then followed by losing 7 rounds in a row here for 2G4L. This is obviously both teams more comfortable on defense than they are on attack. Obviously, the round advantage still lies with 2G4L. I'm expecting them to eventually pick up a win here, but it is looking pretty grim on the attacking side for both of these squads.
Oh, it's the looking grim, is it? All right.
Yeah, because I can't see. I like the joke.
Yeah. Unbelievable. It's sounding grim. It's sounding grim for the time being. It's a bit of an eco now. Yes, Medic?
Yeah, obviously we're having issues getting the stream up, so we apologize for that, guys. I just wanted to say we understand that it's currently shout casting more than C casting, but Ender's doing a good job.
I'm also being very calm, right? It's not really shouting, it's trying to keep it a little bit more mellow for the time being because we're into our next round. But we're only 50 seconds left on the clock here, as it will be an A entrance. But man, honestly, as soon as a defense side came up here for Royals, they've been absolutely owning, as now they find a 3-man pincer maneuver on towards mid, have the bomb isolated from that final lurking member of Alexi. He's on the Cypher. He is getting sprayed down from 3 different directions and will fall in the end. And it looks like we might have things back on stream. So how about that?
Yeah, just as I was doing interpretive dance.
We got rid of all the boring rounds, right, where it looked like it was going to be a one-sided stomp, and now we've got a game again.
I'm sorry, I just went to say casters with such a big ego, they'd rather stream their face than the game shaking. Oh, that's the best. That's the best I've ever seen. Anyway, we're back on into the game. 11-8.
We're back in.
Royals are doing a very good job on defense in this on split here.
Looks like we've got a full buy coming out from 2G4L, though. Maybe this is the round where they finally get the W. It's been 0 wins on attack. At least Royals picked up 1 win on attack, I think. So I think it's been 0 wins on attack right now for 2G4L. Must be getting in their head just a little bit as they are looking to vie for mid control, pushing through that B link. Maybe baiting a little bit on A. Looking around A main and A ramp, just trying to draw a bit of attention over that side of the map. And now the push comes in through Alexi. The slow comes through into Vents, although it is returned with the wall, and immediately defense comes through from Royals as they again look to keep that mid control under wraps. No kills so far, though. Bit of a slow game, and I really feel like you can kind of feel 2G4L take it a lot slower this time around. They're not willing to make any mistakes. Don't want to rush in when they don't really have the angles or the utility to do so. And Chet just still holding that angle on the Vents right now. Great rule from him. Oh, he gets taken out though. Jesman finally finds the opening kill. The push now comes onto A as Hype trades back. Oh, gets 4! Monster defense! And that absolutely buries the hope of 2G4L. What an absolutely beast play from Hype.
That's the angle Alexi held against them.
Yeah.
They know about that angle. They use that angle themselves and then no one checks it.
It's crazy too, because the first 2-3 kills were good, but the transfer from the 3rd kill to the 4th right there, maintaining the spray, absolutely beautiful stuff coming in from Hype. And I get the hype now, people. It's a good TikTok meme. Good. No, it's
good
not a
one,
and it's a meme. It's
9
a meme.
rounds to 11, as Royals really haven't been able to. 2G4L haven't been able to do anything on this defense side. They're pushing up with pistols, Sheriff in hand, looking to see if perhaps they can round up some kills on this B site. But Nif there holding it off. The wall comes down and Nif can open up with the Vandal through the spray. DPS going to fall to the orbital strike, but Nif is still on that site. Cape is coming across as well, but they're taking out Nif now, and that means they get another gun for themselves. Spike's going to get planted. 3 sitting up in heaven. One's actually just dropped down onto the site. Rep one looking for some kills here, but the Showstopper's going to take down one as Hype. Ender, I get the hype now. Chet brings DPS back. This is a 4v2 now. As the Satchel's coming out,
Why'd you have to keep it alive?
To try and hold these angles. Rep one takes out one, looking for 2, but can't land it. And it's going to be 10-11. The comeback well and truly alive.
Yeah, they're searching for guns on the ground. Hype with a little bit of BM as well, while they make sure that our loadouts are looking good for the next round. Look, we were talking about, defense versus attack, but let me tell you, this map is looking super, super close now. Obviously, that was going to be an eco round coming through from Too Good for Lose. But still, right? The fact that we have now come from an 11-1 position is unreal.
10, 11. Can you? I mean, really, I think that's what 9 rounds in a row for Royals now. We really didn't give them much of a hope in hell coming into this second half. I think they got a round on attack at some point. So I think they actually started the round at 11-1, right?
Yeah, you were right. That's why I said it was good math. Oh, that's
looks
aggressive.
like a big
push down
push
mid
though.
here.
That's a. I'm letting Medic talk.
Who's taking this one?
I was waiting for you to talk, my man, but Hype hitting the heads as they push straight through mid. 2 people still behind him, but he's going to use the satchel to get back up towards the top of mid here. And this is such a bad round for 2G4L because they're going to lose their eco coming out of this round as well. They have to try and win it. Slowing orb coming out. And they don't have the res on the Sage. Hype just holding his angle here. Jumping up and down those zip lines as much as he can. They're going to try and push into heaven. Sind will be able to get onto the site, and DPS takes a little bit of damage from the wall bangs, but Hype gets him from behind. Alexi gets one in response, but there's the counter kill from Chet. 11-11 on the scoreline. Make a wish, my friends, because Royals are coming back in this game.
Oh my word, this is actually insane, and now we're in a position where it won't be full armor and guns now for Too Good for Lose, right? Like, they've gone down to light armor, they're not maxing out their utility, there's a Guardian in the hands of this Breach now, so they're playing not to go for the tie, they're playing to try and win it right here, but if they lose this round, you might as well, you know, wrap it all up.
Goodness me, that one attacking round that Royals actually picked up should genuinely just be the difference maker right now for these two teams. I really felt like 2G4L had this in the bag, but Royals have almost certainly surprised everybody by finding a huge number of wins in a row. Replin throws down the Breach ultimate. Here comes the push in. Jessamine finds the first opening kill, and suddenly things are looking up for 2G4L. I say that, oh my word, Neff finds 3 off cam. Neff looking for his 4th, but he can't as Replin turns it into a 2v2. Chet now working his way up into heaven. They have that B-site control, but Chet has not been seen as he works through. Finds the angle, but can't find the kill, and is now got to be a retake situation. As the control of B is now handed over to 2G4L. Replin.
Look at DPS go through B main.
Shooting through the walls. Oh, DPS goes through Garage and finds the first kill with the op, and now it's Replin and 2 versus 1. They haven't even planted, by the way. As Replin flashes back, now heads back into heaven. And will find the kill onto Chat. Now he's going to make a quick rotate over to A here, Medic. He's looking for the big push.
Yeah, he's going to go up through heaven, just get onto A here. Let's see where he plants. I'd like to see him plant just behind that big pillar on the left. But of course, you can just put it open and try and hold the angles here. Try and draw DPS out into the open. Try and see if you can catch him out. Of course, standing behind the billboard. And DPS is going to slowly spot. I wonder if DPS thinks this is where Replin will be. Because usually you'd want to hold an angle where you can.
Right now.
Yeah, you think he's in panels. You think he's up towards spawn or perhaps down A main, and that's not where he is. Replin with a great positioning there to take out DPS and clutch the round.
Oh, it's such a great play from Replin. When, like, if you lose that round again, Too Good for Lose are going to lose the game. But he clutches up right there, finding the kill first on the Heaven Defender, and then rotating all the way through A with a great spot right there. Because again, when you plant out in the open, it's so common to then peel off either towards that screens area or into A main, try to go through Heaven and, you know, just wait until you hear the defuse sound, and that's when you fire. But he plays right behind that center screen, and there is no way DPS thought he could be there ever.
When the chips were down and 2G4L finally went in, immediately Fake finds the opening kill onto K-Piz. This is match point for 2G4L. The quick rotation out through B. Now back over towards A. They're going to try and push through A main, maybe looking up for a ramp push into heaven here. Hype, the only player defending that angle, and they haven't seen anybody from 2G4L as of yet. Keeping it slow,
Hype's
though.
Ultimate could be, Hype's Ultimate could be the game changer here, Excoundrel. He's got it.
I agree,
a showstopper as 3 or 4 people push up. It could be just totally rip through 2G4L. Question is, will Hype get it out in time? Will we be able to bring that rocket launcher out and get the kills? Orbital strike being used here onto heaven. That's B. Perhaps the rotation is going to be called for, and they do come out, and Hype is gunned down before you can get the rocket launcher out, and now the A site is well and truly open for 2G4L.
Oh my word, that was a bait. It was the biggest bait Brimstone ultimate I've ever seen in my life. He just went for the B Heaven. He immediately faked out and the rest of Royals rotated and now 2G4L have the advantage. 5 versus 3. They've got the hold on the screens and coming from defender spawn as well as Chet gets spied out here. All of them now clumped up in an area around Heaven and immediately Nep trades back, now turns it into a 3 versus 4, but he gets taken out and straight away Alexi, the master of the corner peak, comes out and finds 2 and that's 3! 2G4L take 2 attacking wins on the trot and book their place in the final.
Unbelievable. How did we get a game that close right there? 11-1 at the half. And then all of a sudden, 10 wins in a row for the Royals, only to be turned around right there at the end through some brilliant play from Replin. I mean, the whole team showing up right there on the defense side, but Replin to win that clutch in the second to last round until that final push right there was just brilliant stuff.
Super close game, guys, from 2 incredible teams. Super defensive side.